These 3 fly fishing mistakes. I've made them, you've probably made them, maybe you're about to make them, but hopefully this video is going to prevent that from happening. It's coming up on today's episode of Fly Fish University TV. Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Jordan Ulrich, and if you're brand new here, welcome. Fly Fish University is dedicated to shortening your fly fishing learning curve, bringing you a better experience on the water. And today, before we get into today's episode, I'm pretty excited because on March 23rd, 24th, and 25th, I'm going to be hosting a free fly fishing workshop, a 3-night event called Fly Fishing Accelerator. Okay, the Fly Fishing Accelerator workshop is designed to teach you in depth, not just what you're going to get on a podcast episode or on a YouTube video, but in depth, some of the key areas where fly fishers really miss the mark when they're starting out. Some of the core fundamentals that once you understand them, they're going to bring a greater sense of knowledge, which is going to bring a greater sense of confidence. And trust me, confidence is a great feeling when you're on the water, because the more you feel like you know what you're doing to some degree, it doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. Nobody does. It just makes fly fishing a lot more fun when you can pull some of that guesswork out of it. You can head to flyfishuniversity.com/accelerator. You can grab a free seat, March 23rd, 24th, 25th, 3-night event. It's completely free. I just want to help whoever I can enjoy this season and every season to come to their greatest capacity. So today we're talking 3 fly fishing mistakes. I've made them, you've maybe made them. I hope that you don't make them in the future after watching this episode. Okay, so the first one, I'm just gonna get straight into this. The first one is buying equipment without knowing why you're buying it. You go to the fly shop and the person tells you, okay, you know, we have this rod. You say, I need a new rod, and you're not really sure what the purpose of this rod is, but you want a new rod for trout fishing. But you don't look into the fine details as to what exactly you're going to be doing with this rod. So you just make an impulse buy, but you don't factor in things like, where's the kick point on the rod? What kind of applications is this going to be used for? What's the action of the rod? Does it match your casting stroke? Were you able to cast it on the grass before you purchased it? Were you able to read some reviews on it? Just making these impulse buys, it can be fun. I know this because I've done it many times in the past. But it can be just kind of a bit of a black hole where you keep accumulating more and more gear thinking that it's going to solve all your problems, where maybe, you know, the equipment isn't quite what you're looking for to solve some issues that you might be having on the water, such as, let's just say you want to increase the distance that you're able to cast. A lot of times it just comes down to really marrying the action of the rod, okay, the action of the rod, the kick point, the flex pattern of the rod, matching that with your casting stroke and the taper of the fly line that you're fishing. Those 3, if you can match those together, you might not need a whole new set of equipment. You might just need to tweak a couple things. Another example would be somebody walks in the fly shop and they start just loading up their tray with flies, okay, but they don't understand or maybe haven't really thought through, where am I going to be fishing? What situations am I anticipating when I'm making these purchases? Okay, so do your research when you're buying fly fishing equipment. This is something that, I mean, if you could see the amount of fly fishing stuff, I don't own as much as I used to, but I actually ran a garage sale. That's how bad it got. I ran a garage sale this past summer. Okay, just stuff that it's like, when did I buy this? Why did I buy this? The little impulse purchases, really being intentional when you're buying fly fishing equipment, allows you to buy better stuff because you know, A, exactly why you're buying it, B, why you're going to use it. Right? It's so important to know, to really have your equipment dialed in. This is something that we're going to cover in night 1 of the Accelerator workshop. Okay, 2, changing flies way too often. And I see this all the time. Sometimes I see it like through my own eyes because I'm the one doing it. Changing flies all the time, especially in certain situations like fly fishing on still water, okay, and you're changing flies all the time. A lot of it just comes from a lack of certainty, a lack of confidence, and a lack of understanding as to why you're tying the fly on in the first place, right? When we're just aimlessly guessing our way through our fly box, sometimes we're neglecting the underlying truth that is maybe the fly isn't the problem. Okay, there's so many equations that go into catching fish. There's so many parts, so many moving pieces, right? The fly is just one of them. The fly is not everything. Okay, the fly is just one component. How is the fly being delivered? How's the fly being fished? A lot of times I'll fish one fly 2 or 3 different ways before I actually change the pattern. Sometimes on still water, I will fish the same fly on 2 or 3 different fly lines before I actually change the pattern, right? So a lot of times we change flies like crazy, but a lot of times it's not the problem. Most of the time, it's not the issue. Okay, and the third one, not paying attention to the fine details when you're on the water. Okay, I like to say that the observant angler wins. The most observant angler wins the race, right? Because the more you can pay attention to the tiny details and really observe all the little moving parts that are taking place around you, something as simple as, what are the birds doing? Are there swallows dipping down on the water? Well, that's going to tell you that there's, insect emergence of some sort taking place. There are so many fine details that if we just pay attention to them, something as simple as bumping up the length of your tippet by 18 inches, maybe 24 inches, something like bringing the diameter of your tippet down, from 3x to 4x or 4x to 5x, maybe just downsizing or scaling up the size of the fly you're fishing by one size can be all the difference in the world. It's the fine details that really make the difference. They are the difference between a good day on the water and a great day on the water. So anyways, I hope that this was valuable for you. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and I'm super excited to be able to host this workshop on the 23rd, 24th, 25th of March. Okay, if you'd like to grab a seat, if you'd like to register, go to flyfishuniversity.com/accelerator. There's a seat waiting for you there, and I'm super excited to have you as a part of this. I will see you on Friday's episode of Q&A Friday.